Singapore is currently going under re-imaging, etc., and we're becoming a really hyper global cosmopolitan city. A brief address, you talk along the lines of how we're an immigrant society and you turn back to history, etc. And I see that theme being resurfaced somewhat.
Well, I didn't understand your question about identity. I'm not sure where it came from, but I'll try and address identity as a whole. I think that it's almost a part of our makeup that we struggle with our own identity, because we are a nation that came together from almost accidentally from such a diverse group of people. I mean, initially, in the 1800s, 1900s, people who came here, some of whom would have been your forefathers, never intended to settle here. Many of them did not bring their families with them. They left their families behind and they went home, and their intention was to go home, usually to buy a plot of land and to live out their final years there and to be buried there. That was what most people did when they came to Singapore in the 1800s and the 1900s. What were the big changes that caused Singapore to feel that it was, and it sort of became sort of a sense of nationhood? Some of it was due to the big events that took place not in Singapore but in the home countries from which the sort of migrants came from. This struggle with our identity, I think, takes place as an independent Singaporeans as seeing themselves as an independent nation. Really started, I think, in the 50s, and then became more intense when we became independent in 1965. And I think it is part of our makeup that we're not entirely sure who we are, and we keep on struggling with it, and we keep on trying to find what it is that is at core makes us Singaporean. And it's very hard to identify, but you can almost feel it and you can almost sense it. You go and sit in an airport in Frankfurt or in New York or in Los Angeles or in Bangkok, and you see this group of people pass by you, and you say, I know these guys are Singaporeans. It's something about the way they walk, the way they dress, the way they talk, what they do, that identifies them. It doesn't matter what race they are. And you can see that, you can feel that. And so there is an identity emerging of some kind. And I think that this is something which we will continue to struggle with in the future.